Discussions concerning spiritual warfare. I spent 5 weeks talking about how the devil wants to do harm to us as individual believers, creating havoc in our lives and chasing us down the wrong path so that we are not effective in bringing about life change and taking ground for the kingdom of God. This is what we've spent time talking about. Now, today, I need us all to understand that absolutely, when one Christian falls in the battle around us, everyone, whether they want to understand this or know it for themselves, is affected. Everyone is affected when somebody falls. And that's just the way it is, because we are a connected whole. And when one member suffers, we all suffer. But today I want to talk about something different than that, something beyond that. There is this organization that has been created in the foundation room of heaven. And today it is known as the church. The church is made up of all those who love and follow after Jesus. That means you and me. If you have said yes to Jesus Christ, you are part of the church. And the church has been ordained by God to carry hope into a lost world. Therefore, whether we like it or not, the church carries the hope of the world. The church represents God's amazing grace. The church represents the gospel of Jesus Christ and tells the story of the old rugged cross. The church is the place where love is supposed to be seen. Not just love because there are weddings in the church, but God's love. And God's love demonstrated from one to another. The church is the hope of the world. And you and I are part of it. Because the church carries so much significance and so much weight in the spiritual battle for life and death, the devil wants to come against the church. And he will battle for control of the church. And if he cannot get control of the church, he will do his best to destroy the church. And we need to have our eyes wide open so that we understand what's going on while it's going on, so that we can change it, so that we can meet the battle, and so that we can stand for Christ. The devil is going to try to create division in the church. And the way he will do it is by creating division among individual believers. Jesus said, every kingdom divided against itself will be ruined, and every city or household divided against itself will not stand. Now this makes perfect sense, doesn't it? I mean, if there is strife in the house, there's nobody that's happy. And you're going to end up paying a price. If there is dysfunction in a city, it's going to fall apart. It's going to crumble. And if there is disunity in the church of Jesus Christ, it will not be effective. It will not be fruitful. Lives will not be won to the kingdom of God. And there will be a tremendous price to be paid. And so the devil is going to try and create division in the church. And honest to goodness, if it were over big things, I would understand it. But typically, the stuff that churches get divided about is stupid. The color of the carpet, how soft the pews are, how long the preacher speaks. Oops. There's dumb reasons to divide churches. And yet, that's where the devil is so successful. So we have got to be wary of the divisions that creep up in the lives of the church. The devil wants to create anger and hurt feelings, bitterness, and broken relationships. And he wants our church members to quit going to church. I that's what church is. I don't want to have anything to do with it. I quit. And they huff and they puff. They take their ball and go. By some way, somehow, that's hurting others. The devil wants people to quit the church because if the people quit the church, there's no church to spread the good news. Listen very carefully. Quitting is not an option. How many of you heard me? Take it home and keep it. Quitting is not an option. And the devil would love for you to quit giving, to quit tithing. Want to know why? He would love for the church to implode on itself, to fall in, to cave in on itself. If the church has all of these ministries and people get all upset and get all mad and they huff and they puff and they take their balls with them and leave, or their wallets with them and leave, or their cash with them and leave, and say, I'm not going to church and I'm not giving to God's mission and I quit, then all of the things that we want to do can't be done because the finances aren't there. And the world can see the church implode on itself. The devil would like very much for the church to implode. And if he can't get it to implode, he most certainly will try and get it to explode. And that's just where people can't stand each other. And divisions happen and the church explodes. And division will happen when believers sin against one another. Now, I don't know how it usually starts. What my guess is by an accident. By an accident. You know, you accidentally step on somebody's foot and you accidentally hurt them. But they think that you did it on purpose. And so they get mad at you. Or you say something and they heard it wrong. And they think that you hate them. But you don't. And you don't even know that you've upset them. But oh my goodness, are they upset at you? And you don't know, but they're mad. And they're mad. And they start holding this grudge. And they don't forget about what you did. You don't know what you've done. But they're mad at you for it. So when you're not looking, you twist the screws a little bit. Just to get even. Because, you know, that's what people in the church do. They get even when you're not looking. Like that's somehow holy or something. Shame on us. Shame on us. And then we don't know what in the world's going on. Why in the world would they just do that to me? What have I ever done to them? And so when they're not looking, zing goes the knife right into their back. Then we feel so good. Shame on us. Shame on us. Division happens when the church sins against one another. We had better work on our forgetters and our forgivers. And that when we get hurt by somebody, we do our best to forget about it. And we forgive them. You know what we do? Instead of forgetting and forgiving, we remember. And we want everybody else to know about it. And so we start talking. Well, did you hear what she did to me? Well, she did this. And we'll talk to anybody who listens. The only person we won't talk to is the person who did it. Because that would just ruin all the fun. The matter would be taken care of right away. You know, if somebody accidentally did something to me and I didn't understand it and I got all confused, did you just, I'm sorry, I just got asked, did you just say this? This is what I heard. Is that what you meant? What was going on? Oh, no, that's not what I meant at all. I meant, oh, okay. You see, that's not nearly as fun. And it's not nearly as juicy. And the gospel doesn't roll on that. But the problem's fixed, isn't it? And there's unity instead of division. We had better start working for unity instead of division. But we're really